here we are. Good morning. Morning, Tati.
Good morning, everyone.
Buenos dias, buongiorno, bom dia, buenas noches. I got to work on some more languages. You can.
Dobre утро, добрый день. Bonjour.
Anyway,
That's all I got. That's all.
Okay. Well, listen, thanks everybody for joining. I want to give a special thanks to our host, Erie, who's making all this happen online, virtually. And then, of course, our amazing, phenomenal translators, right? I mean, without them, many people wouldn't understand anything that I'm saying. Maybe they don't, but
They still don't.
But thank you, translators. You do a phenomenal job. I appreciate it. So let's see who's here. Where's everybody from? Let us hear from you. I see.
You know what I read, and I had to reread a few times. We have somebody from Warwickshire. I had to practice to say it.
Warwickshire, the snowy Warwickshire in the UK.
Yeah.
Barry.
Abu Dhabi. I see Sweden,
Mongolia,
Brazil, Peru,
Ukraine, Korea, Japan, Romania. Amazing.
Panama, Colombia, Argentina. Ooh.
Anyway, I'm coming to you live. This is not a recording from beautiful Cocoa Beach, where I think spring break in the Western Hemisphere is in full force. When I walk outside and all the beachgoers, all the people visiting Cocoa Beach, the cruise ships filling up. By the way, Tati, did you know that Port Canaveral, which is just up the road from me, a couple weeks ago announced that, or Seatrade announced that Port Canaveral is the busiest cruise port in the world, meaning more passengers are embarking and disembarking for their voyages from little old Port Canaveral.
I think it's just your charm, Steve. You're attracting so many people to come visit beautiful Coco Cay and then embark on a cruise from there.
Yeah. That's one thing I'm sure is not true, but anyhow, that's great. I mean, for a long time, Miami's been the leading cruise port in the world. North America obviously has more ships sailing in most months of the year, but it's growing. I mean, it's developing in other regions. Europe, South America, South Africa, UAE, Asia. The first cruise ship for Princess arrived in Japan. I saw Erie. Thank you for letting us know that. It's exciting. It's very exciting, and many of our in-cruise members and partners have made reservations, have booked to sail on the Princess Cruises, Diamond Princess in particular, to be sailing from Japan. So, hey, who's looking in the rearview mirror now, right? Bye-bye, COVID, bye-bye pandemic. Yeah. So, what we're going to do today, this edition of Insider Advantage. is more about news and updates and some promotions we're going to talk about. And as you know, the second edition each month will be a travel with and then a special guest, and learning all the insider points and tips and unique aspects of destinations, of cruises, the ships themselves, the cruise lines. And very soon we'll start incorporating some of the in-stays. We'll have some special guests talking to us about different hotels and different destinations and why these hotels or why these brands. So we look forward to that coming. But I'm going to kick off talking about a few important updates, and then we'll take a brief pause and answer some questions, right? Instead of pushing them all to the end about some of the content that I'm covering, and then Tati will speak to you about a lot of the exciting cruise updates that we have.
Exactly. So if you guys have any questions, please send them to us through the chat. We have moderators that send us all the questions, so we have more time to read through them and then answer all of them in the middle and then at the end of the presentation.
Perfect. Yuri, if you could tee up the slides for us. There you go. Wow, that's a great photo. That's where I want to be. That looks like it could be a beautiful hotel looking over the ocean, or it could be a beautiful pool cantilevered over the side of a cruise ship, right?
Yeah, like on Norwegian Prima. Did you go to one of those infinity pools in Prima?
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Okay, so CSG, this is what I call it amongst my team internally, the new Cruise Savings Guarantee. So for some time we've had the price match guarantee on the in-stays. So we have officially launched a Cruise Savings Guarantee. And what this means for you is, when you use your reward points and book a cruise, exercising that membership benefit that we all enjoy, you pay less for that booking than booking it directly with any cruise line or other resellers. You know, and you should know, that 100% of our members have saved money 100% of the time when it comes to booking a luxury cruise vacation. But sometimes there are pricing differences, pricing nuances, source market pricing. Source market means the country you're from. If there's a different price than the pricing that we have from the cruise lines, we're making this Cruise Savings Guarantee. So in the event that you find the same cruise for less than what you paid out of pocket, plus the cost of your reward points used to make that reservation with In-Cruises, your company will refund you 5 times. That's right, 5 times the difference. So for example, if that cruise was $100 less than the cost of your reward points plus the out-of-pocket costs, you would be receiving $500 in compensation for that difference, right? We want people to book with confidence. We understand there's some nuances and some differences in pricing. So this is the reward that we came up with for the Cruise Savings Guarantee. Now, how do we walk through exercising the Cruise Savings Guarantee? So the comparison obviously needs to be for the exact same cruise. That means the same ship, the same dates, the same length of cruise. Some cruises you can get on for 14 days or 7 days on the same departure date. The same number and ages of the guests on board, the passengers, the same promotional package, meaning the same pricing code, the same deck, category, and cabin. The deck actually, because there are some similar, there are exact same price that you could be on deck 13 or you could be on deck 14. So, that will certainly be revealed as we go in and do the check. The pricing includes all taxes and fees, right? It's the total trip price, not just the cruise price. And when you're looking when you're looking at cruising on the cruise line websites or other resellers, be careful because the price up front may not include some of the port fees and taxes, right? You have to get to the end. You have to actually select a cabin because where you are on the ship may determine if you're midship, you may pay a higher price for the same type of cabin than you would being forward on the ship. Why? Because it's more desirable, right? People want to be in the center of the ship. Be within 72 hours of your booking, right? So, prices do change through the life of a booking, and so we can't always guarantee that. I will tell you, after 33 years in the business, your best price is booking early. 99.9% of the time, your best price will be booking early. And the comparisons need to be made with the official cruise line website. We won't accept resellers' pricing because they play all kinds of games, and they throw in different amenities. Everybody's trying to build a better mousetrap. We have reward points, right? So another competitor may have some other type of pricing gimmick. So we want you to be confident the cruise lines drive the price. Use the official cruise line website when you're doing your cruise savings guarantee. And then how do you let us know, right? So to request that 5 times the difference, because the unfortunate event occurred, and I don't expect to see a lot of these, but it's there and you should use it if you find it. Again, to request 5 times the difference, if you have the scenario, don't be afraid to use it. Request through the support team. I'm quite sure everybody knows how to raise a ticket with a support team, but in case you don't, there is a Get Help banner that floats around on top of the cruise booking engine or throughout our website. But you can also go directly to incruises.com support. That will give you the opportunity to create a ticket. You must include your cruise booking number, right? That's the reference number, the unique number that the cruise line issues. And a screenshot from the website, whether that's MSC's website, whether that's NCL's website, that's Princess website, Costa website. Make the screenshot of that final pricing page and submit that. And then we will pick it up. Our first-class support team will pick that up, do the check, and then award your points if indeed it's accepted. In the event that it's unaccepted, we'll tell you why that's unaccepted. But I'm confident in our pricing, because I'm living in that world every day. And I'm confident that if you do find this rare occasion, that will make good on their use of your reward points. Next slide. I'm going to move to in-stays for a moment. For those of you that haven't done online bookings of in-stays, and there are a lot of you in cruises that have not used in-stays yet, we hope that you will give in-stays an opportunity to earn your business. You have reward points that can be used towards these in-stays. But there's these what we call room types, and I just wanted to, some of them are very self-explanatory, but some of them I wanted to make sure that we cover. Which room type should you book? Right, so all-inclusive, these are going to typically be resorts, and all-inclusive usually means meal and beverage plan. So all-inclusive, it will need to say all-inclusive in the room type, will mean that you have access. The rate includes beverages that can be alcoholic and non-alcoholic, and meals in the restaurants and bars. There are going to, of course, be some limitations. You can't go get magnums of Moet and Chandon as probably part of your all-inclusive, but you certainly can get glasses of champagne in these all-inclusive room types. Bed and breakfast, right? That does not mean you get breakfast in your bed. Sometimes you can, but typically bed and breakfast means, and especially in international destinations around the world, that you're going to have a really nice breakfast included. A lot of times those are fabulous buffets. Many times it's a combination of a continental breakfast and then order off of a hot menu. So bed and breakfast means that every night that you sleep in the hotel, you have breakfast included the next morning. Room only. Well, room only means that you're not going to get any meals, right, in there, or beverages in there included. You're not going to have parking included. You're not going to have room service included. You will have all the amenities in your room, but you're only paying for the room. Ocean view. So that view that we're looking at in the middle picture here, I would call that ocean front. If your room and your terrace or your windows are facing directly to the ocean, so you look to your left and you look to your right and you see ocean, you have ocean front. But ocean view, there may be hotels that, looking out your window, you get to see the ocean. You may not be looking directly straight at the ocean, but you may be able to see, down the south side of the beach or the north side of the beach or the east or west side of the beach or the ocean. Same goes if you're on a lake, right? Or a river. You might have these same types of views. Garden view is usually going to be looking over the property's grounds, right? Or you may be backed up against a mountain or a forest or something like that. Pool view, pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be able to see the pool from your room. Pool views are great, but they're not for everybody. And I would, depending on the size of the hotel that you're staying in, pool views can be noisy, right? Especially if it's a family friendly resort or hotel. Kids make noise, people swimming, playing games, and they're having fun, and that's what it's about. But, they may be noisy if that's not suited for you. Keep it in mind. Bedding. This is really important. So the only way to guarantee a certain type of bedding is to have the bedding listed in the room type, right? So if you get a superior king, or you just have superior, what's the difference? Well, superior king will guarantee that you're going to have a king size bed in that superior class room. If superior only, you may not have the guarantee of getting a king, or you may get two doubles, what we call two doubles. Sometimes you get two queens. I think that's fairly rare. Happens more in probably North America than any other part of the world. Just rooms are bigger, so they can put bigger beds in them. Queen size would be the same. And then, if you want to guarantee, especially if you're going to have more than two people in the room, it's not too often, maybe unless they're infants or toddlers, that 3 people or 4 people are sleeping in the same bed. And it can happen. So you need to make sure that the room type that you're selecting has double beds, right? Or twin beds. The name means the same. Twin beds doesn't mean you're getting that small twin size bed. It can, but typically it means 2 beds in the room. And one other tip here about room types is I would, no matter which bedding you book, you can always contact the hotel, and they should be able to retrieve your reservation based on your name and your date. You may, there is a process when you book an in-stay. I would say the majority of the time, that means most of the time, your booking is made real time inside the hotel's system, right? In their property management system. But there are scenarios through a hotel provider, like what we use, that it's a sell and report. What that means is you make your reservation in the in-stays database, and it may be the next day before that room is booked for you at the hotel. And so give it a day, and then you can contact the hotel and you can request a specific bedding type. They may not guarantee it. They may say, oh, no problem, we can do that. But if you really are uneasy about what you might get in bedding, first step, book a room type that has the bedding name in it. Second step, you can contact the hotel and they can talk to you about what's available for bedding, and either put a request or, guarantee you that you'll have that type of bedding. Some people don't care. They just want the cheapest room in the place in a city center and a place to sleep, and that can be fine. Why should you book a hotel and in-stays before and after your cruise? Maybe you don't need both. The data tells us, our booking data of cruises, that most people are flying to get to their destination, right? We have people coming from all corners of the globe, and many of those are long haul flights to get to a destination, right? There are people fortunate like myself, or people who live in Barcelona, or people who live in Rome, and you can get on an Uber, or you can drive your own vehicle, or get in a bus and arrive at the port. But that's not the case for most of the in-cruise members booking. So we all have been on flight delays. If you've ever been on an airplane, there's a good chance that you've been in a flight delay. There's baggage delays. Many people now have these air tags or other devices. They throw them in their bag. The plane's taking off and they see that their bag is still at the airport. Or you're in a transfer situation at an airport and your bags don't make the transit. So you're left getting on this cruise without your bag. In many cases, that ship will leave before your bag arrives. Airlines will say, we'll get it to the next port. My experience of missing bags when somebody gets on a cruise, they don't see that bag till they get back. Maybe it'll show up in one of the ports, but it's rare. And also very important, the port of embarkation is not a port of call. That means, like, if you're sailing from Barcelona and day one is embarking in Barcelona, there's no guarantee that you're gonna have enough time to see anything in Barcelona. You may arrive on your flight and have to hustle to get to the terminal, to get on that ship. So you won't see anything except the highway between the airport in Barcelona and then the cruise terminal. So if you want to enjoy and experience, immerse into and many of these ports of embarkation are wonderful cities, capital cities. You want to arrive in advance. You want to arrive in advance so that you can do something. You can experience a meal. You can experience a show. You can experience a walk in the park. You can experience some shopping. Buy some souvenirs. Get some rest, right? Traveling is exhausting, and who wants to arrive to their cruise exhausted, right? You want to have a little bit of rest. So I highly recommend booking an in-stay pre-cruise. And you may want to do that on the tail end too. And why? Because the logic of the flight scheduling means that you're going to have a tough time making that flight. You're risking it. Stay an extra night, sleep in, get on that flight the next morning, late morning, early morning, whatever the case may be. And you have peace of mind, right? And we now allow hotels and stays to be booked 10 days in advance. That should satisfy most appetites for those who are looking to add an in-stay to their cruise. And I will say, for those that haven't done that but have thought about that, we are the in-stays that are booked, we see 60 to 70% that are attached to a cruise, meaning we see that same user, that same member has a cruise booked within so many days of that in-stay. So people are making this right choice, and I encourage all of you, if you haven't, do it. Add that extra day. You have reward points to use. You want to use them, and enjoy the city that you're going to get on the ship in, which is most of the time the same city you're going to get off the ship. But sometimes many of our members are booking repositioning cruises, so you have two different cities that maybe you want to see on either end to enjoy. It really is a nice add-on to the cruise vacation. Names on your reservation, right? So please make sure that you put your legal names on the reservations. It's not, I don't want to minimize it. It's not the same strict rule when you're getting on a cruise, that should match your passport exactly. At least some of the names. I mean, some passports, some nationalities carry many different names for the individual that they've had through marriage and stuff. But you should make sure you have your correct name on the reservation. Try not to use nicknames or anything like that. This goes for both hotels and cruises. We've had people who have been denied boarding because they didn't have the right name on the reservation that matched the passport. And that's really hard to mitigate. That's really hard to negotiate. It's really hard to overcome when you're standing at the pier and you have the names don't match on the reservation. They're, calling your sponsor, or doing tickets, WhatsApping different member groups probably is going to be met with disappointment. So do that before you cruise. You should see it when you're checking on your cruise, and you should see it in your receipt from your in-stay. Very soon, we are going to be, with in-stays, adding more fields to capture all names in the reservation, right? So as if you've booked an in-stay or you've gone through the booking flow, you've seen that we're only capturing the member who's logged in to make that in-stay booking. Why do we want, and that's typically enough, right? Only one resident. Hotels don't require all the names of all passengers. But why do we want to do this? Many of you have been met with visa requirements that all these names need to be on the reservation, right? So when you have a cruise, we have that. But if you're doing it through a hotel reservation, and maybe you're not getting on a cruise, you're going to a resort. We want to give our members the opportunity. We're not going to require it, but these fields will be there, and you can start populating, husband, wife, children, right? Or, girlfriend, boyfriend, or, two sisters, or people that are traveling together as friends. Put those names in there. And also, if you're coming from different destinations, this allows you to have both names on. Somebody arrives before the other, they're able to check in, right? They won't be met with resistance on checking in. So this is in the works. We'll be making this announcement soon. And hopefully that will provide a smoother process for hotels when it comes to check-in, obtaining travel documents such as visas, and so on. So I think this is where we'll pause, right, Tati, and try and answer a few questions. I haven't been looking at the questions. I've been focusing on my...
We have them for you. Don't worry. Yes, we have quite a lot of questions. Thank you guys so much for your participation. I actually saw a lot of comments about staying pre and post cruise. So a lot of people are doing it. A lot of people are saying you need more time to see destinations and ports like Barcelona or Rome, where they're going. But also, of course, some questions for you here, Steve. For example, can I make a reservation only to reserve in-stays without going on a cruise?
Absolutely. There's no requirement to connect them. And we don't have the technology right now to give you a single checkout of booking a cruise and then adding a hotel. Is it desirable? Sure. I think we would all like to have that, but you can book you can book a cruise and go on a Western Med cruise or Eastern Med cruise from, say, Barcelona or from Athens. And then for a separate trip, you can book you say you want to go to Berlin and visit the capital city of Berlin. You can just do that standalone. Does not need to be connected with a cruise.
Absolutely. We have
one of the things that, and I'm just going to throw kind of a teaser out there, is one of the things technology we're working on is called the perfect pairing. So when you book a cruise, because usually that's what needs to come first, right? You're not booking your hotel and then you're booking a cruise. You're usually doing it cruise first. That we will serve up some recommended hotels in the port of embarkation for you, right? And then you can book right from those links. taking you into the booking engine. So we're working with the tech team here at InCruises, and we're also working with hotel providers, and looking at what many of our members have already been booking, such as in cities like Abu Dhabi and Dubai, and then just give you some of the hotels that are the most popular or that you can use the most reward points against on it. So that's coming. I suspect that we won't probably see that this month, but I think we'll see it early next quarter.
True, and with the over 150,000 hotels that we have all around the world, not all of these destinations are cruise ports. So you can definitely take advantage of it, and let's say go to Puerto Rico, well, it's a port, go to the Dominican Republic and stay in the all-inclusive resort for 2 weeks, or go to Maldives, I don't know, somewhere where cruise ships don't even go, and just spend your time in the hotel enjoying it without getting on board, having it booked through in stays. All right, Steve, what if one person in the reservation cannot come to the cruise? Will all the others be allowed?
Yes. So we don't allow changes, right, to the reservations, except in extreme circumstances. And please don't everybody start saying I have an extreme circumstance, because they're very, very few at this point. So let's say you have 3 people that are booked to travel together on the cruise, and one of the passengers can't make it. It's best to let support know that they're not going to be able to make it, and then we can let the cruise line make it, so they're not expecting them into port. But yes, the others can still travel. Canceling one passenger out of the cabin does not mean that the cruise is canceled.
So they still can go. All right, great. There is a question about the savings guarantee. There were a few questions. I will just try to combine them together. Sometimes people can still see difference in prices when they're checking through maybe a different country or different market. Why would this could possibly happen? Why they could see the price difference for other agencies or other countries?
Well, it's because of what I mentioned about source markets, right? So cruise lines such as MSC and Costa, they're very international brands, and so they have itineraries around the globe, as all of you probably know. You've sailed in many of them. The cruise lines may have differences in those markets for pricing. We can't control that, nor can we, as a cruise reseller, have every local pricing. It's just impossible. Technically, it could be possible, but it's not something that really any reseller in the world has. The cruise lines have that. So, we with these cruise lines, we are typically taking the price of the regions that are most common, right? That represent our membership base. And then that's the price. And this is why we want to guarantee that you're going to be able to save, and hence the cruise savings guarantee. So it does happen. Doesn't happen all the time. I think that in many cases we have better prices. And in fact, I know we do. But in some cases where another market has a better price, we have this cruise savings guarantee, and you should use it.
Is there guarantee for the price of cruises on the platform, or with the reward points that our members accumulate and use, that they receive 25% off? How do we calculate the difference?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
So do we compare the price that shows on InCruises platform, or do we compare the actual out-of-pocket that we paid, including 25% off that we get because we use?
So with the cruise savings guarantee, we're going to take the price that the member paid on their receipt, total price, whether they paid for it with points or out-of-pocket. And then we're going to calculate if there is out-of-pocket costs, what are they? and the cost of reward points. I mean, we know what the cost of reward points are. So that will be the price that we guarantee, that the other site, the cruise line's official website, will not be below that. So if it is, then we're guaranteeing that we're going to pay them 5 times the difference. As I said, let's say it was a $2,000 cruise. The cost of points and out of pocket was $1,500. The cruise price that they've seen on MSC Cruises is $1,400. So that's below the out of pocket cost and cost of points. The difference is $100. We will compensate $500 if that scenario arrives.
And the last, there are a few questions. Maybe we'll answer more at the end. Can you use 1-for-1 points or 2-for-1 points, gold card or blue card when you reserve your in-stays?
Yes, you can use any of the wallets. It's a calculated amount for the in-stay, so it doesn't mean that you're using more points because you have gold or blue. I guess it comes down to what the cost of those points were.
So they can use anything they want.
That's correct.
And when we will expand to more hotels? So I see people throwing number 350,000. When are we going to have 350,000 hotels?
We do intend to add more providers. It's a technical hurdle. There's a lot to do, right? When you're integrating multiple providers. One example of the complexity is, let's say we have 3 providers and they all 3 have the same hotel. And in that hotel, let's say it's a very large 1,000-room hotel in Las Vegas. There's probably 25 different room types. So we have to do all of this mapping to make sure we are not showing 25 room types for each hotel, for that same hotel that, you're duplicating. You're having this massive scroll on which one are you booking. So technically we have to filter all that so that we're giving the best price out there. It takes technology to do it. And first we have to integrate with that provider so that it becomes visible on our platform. And then we have to do all this mapping, not of just the hotels, but of the actual room types and the pricing programs that are in there. I don't want to try and explain it beyond that. It's complex, and we've had other priorities in the tech team. But it is on the roadmap, and we will be adding these.
We will get back to Q&A if we have time at the end. I tried to stick to in-stays and savings guarantee questions, and we'll cover more of the cruise line related questions after the second part of the presentation. So let's get to cruises. I will tell you a little bit more about spring and summer season, what is coming, what destinations are the most popular this year, what cruise lines will go to each destination. And if you guys have had great experiences, please share them in this chat. It's not only for your questions, but also to share the inspiration about the places that we go and experiences that we have. So please write all your feedback about your cruises, about your travels in the chat, because we love to share those as well. So summer cruise season is coming, and I have covered this before a few times. A lot of cruise lines are shifting their ships to different itineraries, to different destinations. And of course, the number one, the most popular, has always been and will be this year is Mediterranean. I taught you guys before the difference between Eastern Mediterranean and Western Mediterranean. So, if you did one itinerary before, maybe this summer, you get to explore different ports and different destinations. Northern Europe is becoming more and more popular within our in-cruise members. Those of you who maybe have tried other destinations already, a lot of people want to go see Norway and fjords, Iceland, Greenland, and of course, there are a lot of beautiful Baltic cruises where you can go to Helsinki, Stockholm, going into Germany, going into Latvia. So that is a very unique and interesting itinerary as well. And of course, Alaska. Alaskan season is very, very short. The best time to go will be between June and September. So if you always wanted to have an Alaskan cruise, now is the time to book your summer vacation in Alaska. Now let me go through various companies that we have on our booking platform and tell you what special offers they have, maybe new ships or new destinations that they are presenting this summer. Now, Costa Cruises, extremely popular with in-cruises members. I believe that a lot of you have cruised with them before. It is a unique brand, very Italian, very European, and this summer season they have some new offers for you guys. Now, Costa Smeralda will be sailing in the Western Mediterranean. This is their flagship, the newest, the biggest, the most exciting one. She will have incredible entertainment on board, a lot of facilities to see on the ship, a lot of dining experiences. But of course, when you are cruising in the Mediterranean, the ports are the most important. And now she will be going to Savona, Marseille, Rome, Barcelona, Palermo, and Ibiza, the party capital of Europe. Costa Fortuna will be doing a very unique and interesting sailings this summer. She will be going on 14-day cruises. So those of you who are looking for a longer vacations where you can visit more ports, see more countries, definitely look into Costa Fortuna because she will be doing both Western and Eastern Mediterranean, calling into more ports so you get to see more destination. And sometimes she will be even going to the Canary Islands. Now it is very unique because typically ships go to Canary Islands when they do a crossing between Mediterranean and Caribbean. So having a Canary cruise and then coming back to Europe is definitely a unique experience. And Costa Fascinosa and Costa Favolosa will be sailing in the Northern Europe. As I said, these itineraries are really, really interesting, calling into Germany, Norway, Iceland, Greenland, and the Baltic region. My dream is to go to Iceland and Greenland. I have never been, but I am dreaming to do this cruise. So, maybe this summer this will come. Maybe you guys share some of your experiences with me. Norwegian Cruise Line, last month we talked that we finally have the beverage, dining, internet, and shorts package that you can choose when you book Norwegian cruise. Definitely take advantage of this because you can use your points. You can spend your reward points instead of paying out of pocket for this. And so once you are on board the ship, you have everything included, right? You have your Wi-Fi to share pictures with everybody. You have your drinks. Even if you're not planning to drink all day, every day, it is always great to have maybe a glass of wine at dinner or a refreshing cocktail at the pool. And of course, dining and Shorks credit for your experiences. Norwegian will have a few ships in Alaska, few ships in the Mediterranean, and their flagship, Norwegian Prima, the newest brand, the newest ship that they have in fleet at this moment. She will be sailing in Iceland and Norway. I believe some of the itineraries go out of Reykjavik and some of the itineraries go from Southampton. So definitely take a look at their itineraries. Their Alaskan cruises are amazing. Calling in Ketchikan, Skagway, Juneau. Those of you who have done Alaska know what I'm talking about. That is truly unique experience. I always talk about my time that I spent in Alaska, about incredible experiences that you can have there, tours that you can take. You can go see fjords, you can go dog sledding, you can go see whales. So Alaska is definitely one of the top destinations in this summer. Virgin Voyages. After previous presentation, I got a lot of questions about their special promotion. I actually put this promo information into our cruise spotlight. So guys, always refer to Cruise Spotlight. If you don't know, it is in the top left corner of your booking platform where you choose in cruises to book your cruise. The next section is Cruise Spotlight. Virgin Voyages is offering this special promo. It will last until the end of March, so definitely take advantage of it. When you book your next Virgin cruise, you will get 50% off the second sailor, so it is already subtracted from the price. And you will also get free drinks up to $600. Whenever you see a promotion that says up to certain amount onboard credit or up to certain amount drink package, it always depends on the length of the cruise and the category of the stateroom that you're sailing in. So the bigger the stateroom, more onboard credit or drink package credit you will get. Okay, so it's not the same for everybody. It is calculated depending on your duration of your cruise and the cabin that you're staying in. Virgin Voyages is introducing their third ship. I will quiz you guys on this at the end. So they now have the Scarlet Lady, Valiant Lady, and now new Resilient Ladies coming. And their itineraries are really incredible. Scarlet Lady is doing the Caribbean all summer long. Valiant Lady is doing Western Mediterranean with a special call in Ibiza, and Resilient Lady will be doing Eastern Mediterranean with special calls in Mykonos and Dubrovnik. So if your idea of cruising is to have a party, to have a celebration, maybe go to one of those beach clubs and stay later in port and party with your friends. Go to Dubrovnik, explore, the sunset in the city, go have dinner there. Definitely take a look at Virgin Voyages, because with this offer, you can really save quite a bit and get to very, very unique and interesting destination. Now, one of the luxury companies that we have on our in-cruises platform is Cunard. Cunard is an elevated experience. You will see that the price is a little bit higher, but it is because of the services that they offer on board. Cunard are smaller ships, so they get to call into smaller ports. Now, if you're looking into unique destination, let's say Monte Carlo, not that many ships can get there, but Cunard will have itineraries that go to smaller ports. They will also have sailings in the Northern Europe. They will have sailings in Asia and, of course, Eastern and Western Mediterranean. And now Cunard is offering a special promotion that is called Treat Yourself on Us. I also put this one into the cruise spotlight, so you will see it there. With this promo, you will get 30% off the fare, so the amount that you see on the booking will be already lower, and up to $2,000 onboard credit. Now, again, it depends on the stateroom that you're getting, but with $2,000 onboard credit, you can go to spa, you can take any tour you want, you can go to specialty dining, you can do basically anything you want. How incredible is this? So definitely take a look at them and take a look at their unique and unusual itineraries that they have. MSC. to explain to you guys what MSC Cruise Line is. They're extremely popular within our members. They have so many ships in the Mediterranean, in Northern Europe, in fjords in Baltic. So they have so many options for you: big ships, small ships, new ships, old ships. Definitely, we had a lot of people cruising on new MSC World Europa. Eurabia is coming. Seascape is coming. So a lot of various itineraries, a lot of great destinations. And don't forget, ships do get sold out. So if you book in advance, you guaranteed to have a cabin. You're guaranteed to have a stateroom to really enjoy your vacation. So I always say, plan your cruise as early as possible. Take advantage of the timing that we have. And I just want to mention a couple of ships that we still have rooms on. For the Western Mediterranean, we have Grandiosa. For Eastern Mediterranean, we have a lot of ships: Symphonia, Musica, Splendida, Opera, Divina. Eastern Europe is the itinerary that will include Greek Isles, that will include Turkey, that will include Kotor, that will include Dubrovnik. So that side of the Mediterranean is incredibly beautiful. And of course, Northern Europe, fjords, Germany, Norway will have Fantasia and Poesia. So look at those ships. Smaller ships go to more unique ports. So definitely pay attention to that when you choose your next cruise. And I'm not going to talk about Carnival today because in 2 weeks' time, on March 23rd, we will have a special guest, Calvin Rodriguez. He actually presented to us last year, and he was absolutely phenomenal with so much knowledge about Carnival Cruise Line, about the brand, about new ships, about new itineraries, destinations, about experiences that you can have on board. We absolutely adore Calvin, and he will be here with us. So please take your calendars, take your phones, and put a reminder, because that will be a very unique, a great event where he will present Carnival Cruise Line for us. Once again, it will be in 2 weeks on March 23rd, 4th Thursday of the month, and Calvin will be telling us everything about Carnival cruises. And I want to have a little teaser for you guys, because in our previous Insider's Advantage, we talked about new cruise lines that we will be introducing. We're still working on some technical details. Don't worry, as soon as we have them ready, you will be the first ones to know, that's for sure. But I want to show you a little teaser about one of the cruise lines that we will have coming to in-cruises very, very soon. I am beyond excited about this cruise line because it is very luxurious. The ships are very beautiful. It is brand new. Nobody has ever sailed on these ships. The first cruise is coming out in May, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see, maybe some of you know what I'm talking about. It is actually a sister company of one of the brands we already have. She will be doing the first year, she will be cruising around the world and doing pockets of itineraries in Europe, then in the Caribbean, then in other destinations. So let's see if I have anybody who can guess what I am talking about. Disney. No, it's not Disney. Not yet. This is not what I'm going to tease you with. Let's see. Okay. Let's see more. Aida. No, not Aida. Aida is not a new brand. We've had Aida. Aida has been sailing for quite a bit. Let's see. All right. All the anticipation that I'm trying to build here. I will show you a video, and then I will say a few words about this beautiful cruise line. I love this video a lot because it doesn't really show the ship. It explores more the touches, the feels, the smells, the experience that you will actually have when you cruise. And a lot of you guys were correct. It is Explore a Journey. Oh my God, MSC sister company. Yes. A lot of people wrote sister company of MSC, Explora, yes. So we will have them set up in our system very soon. Explore Journeys is MSC's elevated experience. Those of you who have cruised in the yacht club will know what I'm talking about. So it's basically yacht club presented in a separate ship. So definitely something to look into. We saw a couple of mock-ups of the new ships, and they are absolutely incredible. This will be a very nice, sophisticated experience that we will have with Explorer Journey, and we cannot wait to start sharing it with you. So thank you guys so much. I hope this was informative. Please, we will look through the questions now. If you have more questions, send it to us, send them our way. I will try to look through oh my God, so many questions. All right, I will try to look through some of them and then answer. Steve, if you would like to join me on this, please feel free. Because I will have to look through all the questions. There are quite a few. And I didn't even have a chance to read any of your guys' experiences. If you wrote something, I could see that some people were writing about going to Greece this summer, going on their first Mediterranean cruise, exploring Greenland, but I'm very, very excited for everybody about this summer and things that we will be doing.
Okay, sorry. The technology sometimes is slow to bring me back in.
Yeah.
I just want to answer one. I see a lot of questions about Disney and a few on some other brands. I mean, we're planning to add Disney. You know, I've told you before, they're incredibly slow. They to connect people to them. This is on Disney. This is not on in cruises to bring the Disney live, but we will get them live as soon as we possibly can. And Holland, America, and Seabourn, which we were seeing before we went direct, those also are going to be coming. This is on us. We have some work to do on our end to bring them live. You know, why is it these two lines? Because they're pretty much interconnected, right? They're the same, kind of like Cunard and Princess go through the same parent. So does Holland and Seabourn. So, you know, nobody wants to get more cruise lines on more than I do. So as soon as we can bring them on, bring them live, we will. But I think we're going to see a lot of progress this year when it comes to these cruise lines. I saw another question about cruises out of Tampa.
Yeah, who wrote this? Who's from Tampa? Where are my Tampa people? I live across the street from the port. I can hear cruise directors' announcements from the ship. So whoever wrote the Tampa question, please write something now. So we do show all the ships, all the brands and companies that we work with. There are only a few cruises that come to Tampa. I believe it's only 5 ships. So out of 5 ships, we should be showing 2 or 3. But they should be in the platform, so they should be there. Because sailing out of Tampa is so easy, and there are some really, really good itineraries there as well. I saw a question about what is the difference between Top My All and All Inclusive for Costa. Now, both of those packages include a drink package, but All Inclusive is the regular fare. Top My All is the promotional fare. So you will see that Top My All has a better price. So choose Top My All. It will include a beverage package with the best price that you can get.
So that brings up a question, Tati. Where are all these promotions?
I have all the information about special promotions in the cruise spotlight. I mentioned it a few times. There are some promos that only run for a short period of time, let's say a few weeks or a few months. But there are some fare codes like this one, Top My All, that you will see forever, basically. So information about this can be provided through Cruise Spotlight. If you're not 100% sure, you can ask your territory growth director. They sometimes contact me on this. And some of them are self-explanatory, just like the Beverage Shorks internet package that Norwegian Cruise Line has. So we're trying to post more and more information about those promo codes, promotional fare codes, and we're working more and more on that.
I want to address something because I've seen this. It's come up today about the beverage packages and what if you don't drink alcohol. So yes, the beverage packages include alcohol, but there's a lot of drinks that you can consume having a beverage package that don't include alcohol that you would normally pay for. So specialty coffee, when you have a beverage package, you're going to need to pay for that. You can get a barista in Costa, for example, and the Coliseo, making you those great espresso and cappuccino, cortados, make those drinks, and you would pay for those if you don't have a beverage package. And you can get like an espresso or something up when the buffet dining is open, and then you're just pushing buttons on a machine and they'll come out that way. You can drink as much of that as you want. But there's also mocktails, right? Many people want to have a pina colada or a Miami Vice, and you can make these without alcohol, and you want to enjoy those delicious frozen drinks. A lot of the if you're drinking sodas, right, and by soda I mean Coke, Sprite, ginger ale, Pepsi, these are not included with your cruise fare. So you would need a beverage package to have those included, or you pay for them a la carte, each drink you order. So, there are different levels of beverage packages, and each individual probably, needs to pick the one that's right for them. But there's a lot to do without alcohol with the beverage package that will help you save money. And you can, in the case of the ones that are bundled with cruise fares at the time of booking, you're able to use points towards those.
I saw a lot of questions. I'm not going to choose a specific one, but I saw a lot of questions like, when will we have cruises embarking in Venezuela, when will we have cruises going to this destination, or when we will have, I don't know, Panama cruises. This is not what we determine. This is entirely on the cruise lines and their ideas, what they want to do, where they want to have their ships calling, whether it's a port of embarkation or it is just a port of call. So we try to display all the possibilities because we know that our members love to explore new destinations, but that is entirely on the cruise lines to determine where the ships are going and where they will be sailing. Anything else, Steve, that you've seen?
A question about visa-free cruises in Latin America. I'm not sure exactly what that question means, but I don't think any cruises don't require visas. Cruise lines enforce the visa rules of definitely the country of embarkation. So, if you are traveling on MSC out of Italy, you and your nationality requires a visa to travel to Italy, you're going to need that visa to get on the plane, not to get on the cruise. There are some, ports of call that may, and we've seen this a lot in like Doha, right, in Qatar. It's been a bit of a nightmare with all the, because the visa rules changed during some of the World Cup, and then they're different again now. So, but it's not the cruise line. The cruise line has nothing to do with the visa. I mean, many times the cruise line will take care of a transit visa if it's a port of call, but to get into those countries, to get on the ship, you're going to need to go by the country rules. It's not the cruise line rules. And if you don't have a visa to get into Qatar, how are you going to get on the ship, right? The cruise line will enforce that as well. So visa-free in Latin America, this is not up to the cruise lines. It's up to the countries where the cruise lines are calling. And I don't know that there's any guarantee that a cruise line will say, well, you can go visa free. If you're an American, you can travel out of the Caribbean. You can travel out of Miami and Florida, and you won't need a visa. But if you're from the country of India and you're coming to the U.S. To get on a cruise, you'll probably need a multi-re-entry visa to go on a cruise, because you're going to come into the U.S., get on the ship, then you're going to cruise out of the U.S., then you're going to come back to the U.S. So the rules are complex, and as we talked last month, you need to go to your consulate to get the rules.
And they're very unique to every case. So something that applies to Steve, for him to go on a cruise with a specific cruise line for a specific itinerary will be completely different compared to me going on a different cruise with my passport with a different itinerary. So even asking somebody who has done cruises before would not be the same as discovering your unique case and where you're going and what documents you require to go on that cruise.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's lots of questions. I think we're 10 minutes over at this point. Some of these questions are very, specific, and so I don't think I'm going to extend the time to answer them. But we will get a download of all the chat that we've had, and then we'll address these questions in future news and updates. And something that's really important, we'll get a communication out to our members and partners, correcting or answering that type of question. But thank you, translators. I appreciate very much what you do. You're wonderful. Thank you, Ari. Tati, thanks for your great presentation on all the promotions. And don't forget to put in your calendar. It will be 9 a.m. Eastern time, because the clocks are changing for many of us around the globe. At least in the Americas, but they're changing this coming weekend. So it won't be 8 a.m. Eastern, it'll be 9 a.m. Eastern for the next one.
We will send a reminder to everybody. It will be hard to forget about this event.
Yeah.